scary individual.
Oh God. Yeah.
Taylor, would you do steroids? Under
For what? There has to be like an end game. I wouldn't just do
cosmetic
it
purposes.
Oh no, no way. That's too like that's awful for your heart. And I'm talking out of my ass. I'm not 100% sure.
What if you had
but
a
I'm
doctor
pretty
administering them?
Oh, if like a doctor said it was okay and that it wouldn't give me bad side effects, then yeah, I'd try it. But that's like really, really bad for you, isn't it? Like you're gonna die 20 years earlier because your heart's just gonna explode.
Mixed. I mean, you're right. It's really, really bad for you if you're taking the kind of doses that a professional bodybuilder might take. But there seem to be a lot of people who say, you know what, the steroid boogeyman, when taken in lower doses and in moderation, is not as bad as people say. Now, I don't know, right? And it's outside my area of expertise. But the other thing is the psychological part of it. Like, I've had friends who did steroids, and I'm actually exaggerating. I had a friend who did steroids, and he was a swimmer / water polo player. And he got so into it. And it's like a really common story. Like, you know, he started weightlifting and he had these improvements in his body. And it was all done in an effort to be a better swimmer / water polo player. He like was on a college scholarship and shit. But after a while, that became secondary. It was really about like what it was doing for his body and then the impact that that would have on his ego and self-esteem. And he was all wrapped up into his gains and stuff. And I've seen so many people come off of steroids because I'm such an MMA fan. And they start posting like inspirational shit on their Instagram, like, still me. And he's like the dad bod's creeping in. And, you know, and you're like, dude, not still you. No, you're looking flabby compared to steroid you.
I think we need to do some practical research here. I'm going to talk to my doctor about this, see if we can get me on a low dosage of steroids.
Talk to your doctor and see if steroids are right for you.
Like, you just have some big hulk of a guy. You should talk to your doctor, see if steroids are right for you too. And he just crushes an apple in one hand and it explodes. And then he goes into a roid rage and starts crying hysterically and punches a wall.
Are you familiar with HGH gut?
Yeah.
And there's another term for it too. It starts with a P, like Palambano gut or something like that.
Your organs keep growing with human growth hormone.
I think. I mean, I've heard that.
That's not true, is it?
The things do keep growing. Your head does, and it looks kind of weird.
You've mentioned Joe Rogan with that. I didn't notice that ever till you pointed it out, and I went and looked at a couple pictures, and he's got hell of a coconut up there. Like, it's a bit. And I couldn't afford to do steroids. My head it's already gigantic. I couldn't afford it. Yeah.
He'd be a ball.
Yeah, but I look pretty great, right? I have like a handler hold my head up like a newborn.
I'm seriously like I think I'm gonna make a doctor's appointment probably next week, and here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, hey, and this is where I'm legitimately coming from. I'm gonna say, hey, I've heard that sometimes guys have low testosterone and they treat that. I want to take a testosterone test. Let's figure out what my testosterone levels are and if they're healthy. And if they're not, let's do something about it because I think that would be great. And I want to see what my doctor says about all this.
My prediction is that they are healthy. That you have to say, I want to know if they've declined since I was 18. And if they have, let's go back.
Yeah.
Because that's a guarantee that they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk to him about. And I've done a lot of research in the past about this, so I'm familiar with the gynoplasty, you know, the bitch tits and the back knee, and the hair loss, which is the biggest one that would concern me. But I believe that as long as you're not doing a massive dose, and as long as you after stack or cycle or whatever you call it, you go on to some other drugs to balance your estrogen testosterone levels and make sure that they don't get way out of whack, because you know your body stops producing testosterone when you're on it yourself. That's why your testicles shrink temporarily, and I think there's a lot I think could be some gains there. I think that would be fun.
I'm sorry, I thought there was a gap. Please carry on.
No, I think that would be cool. I would like to try that under the supervision of a doctor and see just how. Sure, you need
too risky, dude.
Woody and I watched this video.
Oh my god, it was on PKA. I don't know if we want to rewatch it, but
the before and after. He went from a guy who works out a few days a week and like has big,
strong but flabby,
wide shoulders, not a lot of definition, but a lot of bulk. He went from that and kind of baby face. There was enough fat on him that he kind of had a poofy face. In 1 year, like the guy with the camera goes, God damn! Like he came out the same machine as Captain America. He just did 10 years of gains in 1 year. Legitimately, he comes out looking better than Captain America. Like Chris Evans wishes he looked like this dude. This dude is ripped, like super low fat content, incredible definition, and his physique is he's a bodybuilder, and he looks like a good one at that. Like he's not like just a real ripped guy. He's like, oh yeah, that guy could probably win some sort of bodybuilding competition. Like each muscle group is just perfect. His back looked freakish. He's too big, much bigger than I'd want to get.
Bigger than I want to get to. The aspect of steroids that scares me the most, there's two of them. One is the coming off of it, right? Like your body stops producing its own T, and you know, like all of a sudden you're less than you were before. Like if it was do steroids and then phase off them and kind of try to keep where you were naturally, that'd be one thing. But no, you do steroids, you come off them, and you turn into the prepubescent old version of you. I don't want that. That sounds terrible. The other aspect...
That's why you need the doctor there to be giving you drugs to counteract that.
The other aspect of it is... I worry that I'll have like mood swings or aggression. Like when I was a college swimmer, and no, I don't think anyone on the swim team did steroids, but just hanging out in like the athlete circles, the football players did do steroids, and those guys would like lock in a room and roid rage, and it'd be all trash like a rock star's hotel room and shit afterwards. They'd get into like fights with each other, and it was a roid thing. Everyone knew it was a roid thing. That guy does roids, and he can't control his temper. I don't want, like, I'm a dad, right? You know, like, I don't want, like, if Hope gets moody or something, for me to respond inappropriately, you know?
I think the time is, like, the time is past. Like, your steroid window has closed.
No, this is when it opens, man. Like, this is when...
What do you hook you up with a stack? You're gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah. If I had a doctor say that it was okay and he would like a really low dose, and it's like you just keep working out like normal, and in like 8 months you're gonna be like
30 pounds
and bounds better, and I can guarantee you won't have really bad, awful side effects. But other than that, like if there's even a risk at all, like well, yeah, maybe they could permanently make your hormones out of whack. You might have really high estrogen afterward and be weeping like a meat loaf in fucking Fight Club. At the very end of this. So then if that's the case, just get some whey powder and creatine and go to the gym. Like it's not worth the payoff is not worth the risk.
But so as an MMA fan, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, was legal up until like I want to say a year and a half, 2 years ago. So you were seeing all these fighters in their late 30s at like the top of their game, career resurgence. Dan Henderson, Chael Sonnen, Vitor Belfort. These guys were the best in the world at like 35, 38. That you take all the experience and wisdom and expertise and like ringcraft that someone gathers over a lifetime of fighting, added with the testosterone and athleticism of an 18-year-old, and you have these like superhuman fighters, and like you're like, Woody, the steroid window's kind of closed on you. No, man, this is when you want it. Like, you know, how old are you? 24-ish?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need steroids. That's ridiculous. The steroid window has not yet opened for you, Taylor.
I have so testosterone levels generally peak during adolescence and early adulthood. As you get older, your testosterone levels gradually decline, typically about 1% a year after age 30 or 40. Woody could be down 10% right now. They'll hook you up, Woody.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes I look at the changes in my body, right? Like now I'm headed in the right direction now, naturally, obviously. But like if I have a shirt that's too tight, especially like a month and a half ago, I'm like, it's kind of a bitch tits thing going on there. Bitch tits is also a low T side effect, and you know, like maybe maybe get some high T. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to Dr. White about this. Get this all sorted out. We're pumping iron.
White.
Wait, you haven't entered the. If Woody says I'm too young for this, I think you are too, Kyle. You're Still in your
No,
20s.
fuck all that. No, I'm gonna go talk to this guy. I'm gonna go see what I can do. I want to do it legally under the trained eye of a physician, but I think it's a good idea, and I don't want to go like crazy with it. But I think a little bit, give me a little bit. It'll motivate me to work out if nothing else. And it seems like, I mean, that guy who was probably on a huge dose, his gains in a year were like a lifetime's worth of working out. It was extraordinary. Like I would like to see like what would it be like if you were on these steroids for 6 weeks or 2 months or something like that, working out 5 days a week? It seems like it would be a life-changing amount of mass and muscle you're throwing on. Looks like a good idea to me. I'm gonna see what the doctor says though.
If you come off it though, you get that like weird, like someone who lost a ton of weight look, where like some of the muscle doesn't stick around, it leaves, and then you get like that like saggy arm flesh. Like that's a thing.
I don't know about all that. But I'm going to move forward with this.
Yeah, you definitely can't do it at the extreme levels. And then, like, I don't know if you guys know who Don Fry is. I wonder if I Google.
Yeah, the guy with the mustache, right?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Well, I'm not going to be the only one on the show who's not on roids. So this show's going to get so much more contentious. Like, new topic. No, I wasn't done fucking talking, Woody.
Woody's just crying. Woody's just like uncontrollably. Like
that's
he's off.
my fear. Like, uncontrollably crying is not the direction I worry it'll go. Mine is like that I would be like you guys say I am with waiters, but for real.
Physical altercations and
yeah, right.
Choke a waiter out.
I can't find
ice in my lemonade.
I wonder.
No, well, if you're gonna get on steroids, I'm not doing that shit.
I remember we used to take this testosterone booster when we work out. That was like over the counter from GNC called T-Bomb 2. And I have no idea if that works or not. It's maybe it's just like snake oil or whatever. But we always thought it did, and maybe it was a placebo effect. But I always felt like I was a little bit of a jerk when we were taking that stuff. I know it definitely made you sweat. Like
taking what it was?
It was a supplement. It was pills. It was supposed to be a testosterone booster. It was called T-Bomb 2. The letter T, the word bomb, and then the numeral 2. But it was like $80 a bottle, and I would double the dosage until I pissed green. And
wow.
Yeah.
Didn't take the bottle's word for it,
No, I figured they were full of shit. They were like 3 pills twice a day, and I was like, fuck that. 4 pills 3 times a day. Like, let's see. I would literally take them until my piss turned green. And that's how I knew I was getting all I could handle. Because, it's just passing through at that point, I figured. So I'd back it up.
The bathroom's starting to look like toilet bowl's looking like a shamrock shake in there. Are you feeling okay? Shut up!
Shit. And, but we were, I don't know. I went to GNC and bought a bunch of stuff. But that was one of the things that we always felt, that and creatine and protein powder. I think those are the only supplements that I ever felt like I was getting any benefit from. And I bought a bunch of stuff. Yeah, creatine's definitely safe. I feel you can run into dehydration issues when you got like team sports and they're not letting the kids drink enough water because you got to hydrate a lot more with creatine. But other than that, I don't think there's any drawback.
Be advised, PKA medical advice is not to be followed.
Unless you want to get huge and fats.
I feel like we're like Mac from It's Always Sunny giving this advice.
I'm cultivating mass. That's what you're going to be, eating 4 of those Five Guys meals a day.
They're like trying to cut me off. I'm going to roid rage. Another!
These free peanuts aren't gonna fucking cut it.